To begin the installation, a DPC must be laid onto the bearing walls. The beams are positioned as per the layout drawing, or alternatively spaced using the closure blocks that are supplied with the floor. The polystyrene panels are delivered separately and can be offloaded by hand. Polystyrene edge clips can then be laid onto the bearing walls to support the starter panel. If the bearing wall has already been built to the finished floor level, the panel can be pushed tight up against the inner skin of the wall with the beam. Once the starter row is installed, full or half panels are then installed row by row, dependent on the centers of the beams. To do this, the white load bearing rail that is attached to the panel is placed over the top of the beam, allowing the grey panel to fill the void between the beams. To ensure a correct installation, the white rails must always face the starting row, and continue in this sequence throughout the rest of the installation. An alternative method of installation is to hang the panel off of the beam using the white rail. The beam can then be pushed up against the panel. At the end of the row, the last panel will need to be cut to suit, the offcut of which is then used in the next row, minimizing waste. The panel and rail can be cut at the same time using a handheld saw. A random pattern of panels will be seen throughout the floor. Depending on the span of the beams, multiple beams may be required within the floor. With our unique multi-rail, the GDeck system has made grouting beams together a thing of the past, saving both time and money. The multi-rail fills the gaps between the beams with polystyrene, ensuring a clean and speedy installation. Multi-rails are installed prior to the following row of panels. In some instances, a cut row may be required. To do this, space the beams according to the drawing and cut the panel to suit. This panel will always sit on the shoulder of the beam to avoid any further cutting. For the next row, remove the rail from the panel and saw off one side. Reattach the rail onto the panel and install this as normal. The panel and the rail that have both been cut will sit together. To accommodate any service pipes, mark the polystyrene panels with an adequate area to house the pipe. Then, using a regular handsaw, cut the area out of the panel and push the polystyrene through to leave a void. Install the panel in the normal method, ensuring that the pipe is housed within the hole. The remaining void can then be infilled with expanding foam. Once installed, the floor can be used as a walking platform. Closure blocks are then bedded onto the inner skin of the cavity wall between the beams. To complete the floor, a damp-proof membrane is laid directly over the polystyrene, followed by a reinforced topping. Underfloor heating can be attached to the membrane using self-adhesive clips. These pipes are then incorporated into the concrete.